Hey you guys, Brendan here. Today I'm going to talk about some bolos that I hope to find this year that I've never found before. I trying to curate this list to be brands or items that maybe you've never heard of before, and this video could really help. If you have heard of these items before, hopefully there's at least one brand or thing on this list that you've never heard of before, and it could help you in your thrifting adventures. And if you have found any of these items, let me know down below what they sold for, how you found them, how you learned about the brand. With all that said, let's go over to the computer and get into it.
All right, first company we have here is Glassy Baby. They make these little tea light candle holders. They look like little cups. Each one has the logo on the bottom like this. And these little cups sell for 60 up to $90 each just for one cup. And if we go over to eBay here, you can see there's 385 listed, pre-owned in the last 90 days. And if we go to sold, 690. So the sell-through is really good, and they even have like specialty colors or exclusive colors that they came out with that are discontinued that sell for a lot more. This next brand we have is Cotopaxi. This is an outdoor brand. They sell a lot of bags and accessories, and they do have clothing as well. I actually bought one of these bags for myself, and they're really nice. They use like recyclable materials from bigger companies to make their stuff, so everyone is different, and it's pretty cool, sustainable. And then if we go over to eBay for this brand, just looking at bags, you have 52 listed in the last 90 days. And we could go down to sold and see that we have 185 sold. So another really high sell-through item if you find these bags. They're actually really easy to spot. They're very colorful. Um, so yeah, look out for this one as well. This brand, along with the next couple brands, are going to be in the same vein, like outdoor and bags and accessories. This next brand is GoRuck. I've never found this one either. I always look for it. They have a lot of backpacks and accessories as well. Again, they also have clothes, but everything is super expensive retail, as you can see. A lot more unassuming than the Cotopaxi. It might be harder to find these ones, especially a lot of like cheap tactical backpacks that you could find in the thrift. Um, this one you have to look a little harder to find the brand, but we can go over to eBay for this one too. And you have 51 listed. Just look at the price of some of these, $3.99. All different styles of backpack sell for different prices, obviously. And we can see the sell through 506 sold in the last 90 days, and it's just a really nice brand to look up for. I think they're made in the USA, so that usually comes with higher sales price as well. So yeah. And then the next brand we have is Triple Aught Design. I actually learned about this brand while learning about the previous brand. Same vein, outdoor backpack, tactical gear. Um, these ones I think a little more expensive even than GoRuck, and they sell jackets and pants as well. Everything is a super high price point. We could go down to sold, and 671 sold in the last 90 days. And some of these prices are insane. 139 for a jacket, 159 for a watch, some shorts sold for 42. So I think you could definitely find this one, but again, like the last brand, um, pretty unassuming. And also, if I remember correctly, a lot of the things they have just this little logo. They don't say the brand name, so you might just flip right past it, but keep that logo in mind right there. We're going to switch to a women's clothing brand now. Johnny Was. Probably a lot of you have heard of this. I learned this watching other resellers on YouTube. The prices, I'm in dresses right now. The prices are really high for clothing, I would say. Um, I don't think the sell through on this one is as good, but as you can see, there's still, I'm sure, certain styles that sell for a lot of money. I mean, even $48 if you can get it cheap enough, is a really good flip. I've never found this personally. I feel like they would be really easy to spot. Um, I do think I found this once in a thrift, but they knew what the brand was and they priced it really high. So there's that. But I would keep an eye out for this one as well. This next brand is probably a brand that everyone has heard of. I don't think if people necessarily know how much these coolers actually retail for. So you can see 200, 450, 240, 325 for the big guy. Um, might be hard to thrift just because I feel like most people know this brand, but if you can find one, definitely pick it up. Probably even pay up for it. I've seen a couple of these at yard sales, but people typically know what they paid for and don't want to just sell them for really cheap. But this is a good brand to look out for. They also sell other things, cups, tumblers that could also be a good flip, but those you would have to get on the cheaper side. It's like 618 sold in the last 90 days. They have all different styles. This is soft pack. Then you got the hard one here for 160. I think different colors are limited edition, like this one right here, 275, that are harder to find, and people collect these, so this would be definitely something to keep an eye out for. Pivoting back to clothing, the next brand is Canada Goose. They have really expensive jackets. If you've ever been to a cold weathered place like New York City or one of the cold cities, you'll see these all over the place. 950, 895 they retail for a lot of money. You go to eBay and you see some of these listed. I think the sell through on eBay is kind of low because these are faked a lot, but if you can find one and figure out for sure that it's authentic, then definitely pick it up because they will sell quick. This next brand here is another outdoor brand. I think they sell it at like REI. I've actually never heard of this brand until recently. Definitely never seen it in a thrift, and I might even go right past it if I did. It looks like Patagonia's North Face kind of stuff, except a little more unassuming. The brand logo is kind of ugly in my opinion, so it's just something that I could see myself going right past. But they sell some really nice jackets and everything. They have men's, women's sleeping bags, just like a typical outdoor brand. And I don't know if it's a newer brand, but 129 listed in the last 90 days. And if we go sold, it's 404, so it's a really good sell through. Like I said, I've never even heard of this brand before, so I don't know if it's just one of those newer brands that people are starting to get on board with, but if you find this, definitely pick it up. We're going to get away from clothing for a little bit for these next couple. We have Scotty Cameron. This is just their website. I don't think you typically buy putters from their website. They have their gallery putters here, which as you can see are insanely priced. 5,000, 4,000, 3,000. I don't know anyone who would buy a putter for that much, but I guess if you're really good at golf. But we can go to eBay and see that there are a lot listed. They've been making these putters for a really long time, so there are older models. Like even this one is an older model, I think, and it still has 10 bids for 219. So it's definitely a putter to look out for if you sell sporting goods. Even if you don't and you happen to walk by and see one of these, definitely grab it. They are really hard to find. I'm going to filter used and go down to sold. You could see 10,000 plus sold in the last 90 days in the golf category. They have a lot of cool head covers as well if you see those. Um, even just the grip right here, $100, which is pretty crazy. But definitely keep an eye out for these. And a side note for this brand, if you see their polos as well, definitely grab those. They also sell for a lot of money. The one that I know, there's two logos that I know. It's this one with this little dog here. I'll click in so that you can see this logo right here. It's like a little Dotson kind of dog. And I'll go back and there's one more. It's this guy. He is another one. If you see these two logos, definitely pick up these polos. They will sell super quick. Another sporting goods category, not golf but baseball and softball, Nakona. They make very high-end gloves. Uh, the price of these gloves, 300 to 400, even $500. They also have like limited edition ones like this. Um, I've never found one of these gloves personally, but I'm always looking for these because they're really high quality. And also not like a Rawlings or a Wilson where you can get gloves from those companies that are really expensive, but they also have like the budget models. This company doesn't really make those like Dick's Sporting Goods kind of gloves. Um, and we'll go over to eBay so you can see some of the prices on these. I filtered pre-owned. There's 407 listed. I mean, this one is all ratted out and it's still listed for $65. I could definitely see finding this in a thrift store, just because like some of these gloves, they're very old and they don't look valuable, so I could see someone just donating it just to get rid of it. Let's go to sold. 352 sold. So pretty good sell-through rate. I thought it would be higher to be honest, but it's still a really good brand to look out for. And I think you can see this logo right here and pick it out pretty easily. This next brand is a vintage brand with no main website. Don't think they make these anymore. It is Griswold. I always look at the cast iron specifically for this brand, hoping to get lucky. There are other good brands as well, but I think that this one has the highest like home run potential with some of the prices that these could sell for. I'm gonna filter used and scroll down. There's 2,900 listed. We'll go to sold. And there's over 5,000 sold. So it's a really good sell through for old cast iron that could look like this. To get $60 for something that could look like that, I know people buy them and refurbish them because you can make them look nice and pretty again. But this is definitely something to look out for. I'll click into one of these so we can see what the logo looks like. Oh, sorry. And it's that right there. Look for that cross. This next brand I added to the list even though I just found it the other day for the first time. It's Wool X. It's a merino wool based company. They make clothing, t-shirts. They probably have jackets and socks as well. But you can see the prices on just this half zip, $125. It's kind of like Smart Wool, except I think it's more of like a boutique brand. Like I don't know if they sell this at REI or anything, but this is definitely something to look out for. There are 49 listed, all, and we can go down to sold and 179. So it's a really good sell through. And I would definitely keep an eye out for this. I'll click in so we can see what the tag looks like on just this basic tee. And there you go. Very unassuming. I'm sure if you're flipping through the shelves, or the racks rather, you'd be able to feel like the wool type material. So definitely keep an eye out for that. This is another wool brand that I heard of that I also have never found. It's called Ibex. Pretty much the exact same thing as the last brand and Smart Wool. They have clothing, accessories, and they're just wool based. Mostly like undergarments, but they do have outers as well. Very expensive, $88 for a t-shirt. So a lot of base layers and a lot more listed than the last brand. Then Wool X, 805 listed. We could go to sold. And over 1,500 plus sold. So this brand definitely has a following, and I would definitely keep an eye out for this one as well. And this last brand is a brand that I have been looking for since I started reselling over 6 years ago. It's Coogee or Coogee, Australia. This is their current day website. They started making these sweaters again just because they're so popular. But if you can find a vintage one, they might go for even more. Um, These are also faked, so you have to be careful what you buy. They also have, like, if you find a style that looks like this, like another brand, but just looks like this style, it'll also sell not for hundreds of dollars, but for maybe 40, 50 bucks. I've never found a sweater like this, but I would imagine that they are very easy to spot at the thrift stores. Go to sold, over 1,300 sold. So definitely keep an eye out. They're very colorful. I think like Bill Cosby or Biggie, one of those two, made these really famous, and they have been a sought after item probably ever since. So that's the last brand. I hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to give this video a like and maybe subscribe. And thanks for watching.